Hello everyone, welcome back to another Secrets and Analysis video. I'm here with Michael.
What's up, guys?
And today we are going to be discussing future Boy Zoltron. Now, I did say in the past 2 episodes of this series that, they were the episodes were a little bit hard to get some lore out of them and stuff. But this week, I think I've met my match with this episode, actually. Not having too much to talk about, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll do our best to find as many secrets as possible. So far, there's only one, and it's more of an Easter egg than an actual secret.
Yeah. So basically, this episode was more or less Mr. Smiley character development. What do you think about that? Did you think that was? Were you looking forward to that?
I like the idea in theory of a Mr. Smiley focused episode because we didn't know that much about his character, but I feel like we didn't actually learn that much from this episode. Like, we already knew he was in show business, but we obviously got to meet someone else from his past, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So first off, I did hear, I saw a comment about this, that this episode's name may have been based on Future Boy Conan, which is an anime. I don't know anything about that anime.
Yeah.
You know about it?
Yeah.
But apparently the actual episode has nothing to do with it. So that's just a little tidbit. Also, in the pretty much the beginning of the episode, we saw 2 arcade machines, which are references to actual games on iPhone or Android games. One was Attack the Light and the other was OKKO. I played both of those and they're both pretty good. Yeah,
and for those who don't know, OKKO, was it created by Ian James Courtley?
Yes.
Yeah, it's created by Ian James Courtley, who's was a executive producer for Steven Universe for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. And we also saw him in this episode too, a little cameo for his character. We've seen him a bunch. What?
I missed him.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, I saw it twice, so I was like, I made sure. I was like, yep, that's him.
That's funny.
So then we get on later in this episode where we actually get to see Voltron talk before he just explodes. Steven accidentally breaks him. He's like, maybe he was too strong, or Voltron was just really about to break. But I don't know, maybe you want to talk about this, but the lucky numbers that Voltron says are 1647 NW, and some are actually claiming that this is a coordinate on a map, and it actually matches up with a location on Jamie's map, which are not Jamie's, but like Buddy's map we saw from Buddy's book. I guess it was Jamie, but they were matching it as Jamie, but it was Buddy. So where do you know what place people were saying it was at?
Yeah, so apparently people are saying that these coordinates match up with a place in Cuba. I haven't actually seen 100% proof of this, but this is apparently what's going around, and it would make sense for the Crewniverse to do this because they love to throw in little tidbits and secrets that might not necessarily seem to matter at the time, but we come to learn that it will matter later on, because it seems like a joke. For those who don't know, like traditional like comedy theory, I guess you could say, there's something called the rule of 3. So you say something and then you set up a pattern and then you say something completely different. So we said a number, and then a letter. So it seemed like it was just a joke, but it would actually work really well as not only a joke, but something that is alluding to something much bigger. But we're not sure if we've been to this place, because if it was something marked on Buddy's map and it's all gem locations, we're not sure if this is some new place that's going to hold some significance in Cuba, or if this is going to be something that we've already seen, like maybe the geode or something like that happens to be in Cuba.
Yeah, this episode could be setting up something. Many think of this episode as not doing too much, or anything for like the overall plot, but Who knows? Maybe in fact, Steven has this coordinate in his mind and it will help him out somehow.
Which kind of means Zoltron is actually kind of psychic.
That is true. It's supposed to be, a psychic. So that'd actually be really interesting if that happened.
Yeah.
So when Steven did take on the disguise or the persona of Voltron, I did find it interesting that nobody could tell it was Steven. I guess a lot of people are oblivious. Like in this world, many are. They don't react to a lot of stuff that we would normally react to. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. Can't really come up with an explanation, especially since he started to talk pretty human a lot
Yeah,
of
and
the time.
he started saying their names, so
Yeah.
that's the first red flag.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I'll let it slide.
Yeah, I guess brush that off. We also saw some new background characters, I'm pretty sure, and then also we got like a new, I guess important character to this episode. We'll talk about it in a second, but first, also we saw Suitcase Sam, which he's been like a recurring character in the background, and we still don't know if he has like anything to do or if he's just like a gag. But it was funny, this line that Steven said to him, like, you should talk to your doctor about that.
That's so funny.
Like, okay, maybe we get to know his personality now. Yeah.
Is Suitcase Sam his canon name, or is that the fan name?
I looked it up, and I mean, that guy popped up when I looked up that name because I saw it online. So I need it. Yeah, I think it is, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I want an episode focused on him because I want to know what he's doing there.
That's a character I want to know more about.
Yeah.
Okay, and now moving on to like the more important part of the episode, we get to meet a new character, Mr. Frowny.
When I saw him and he was like asking questions to Steven or whatever, I was like, okay, he's definitely Mr. Smiley's like partner or whatever from his past like comedy routine or something.
Oh wow!
I swear, if his name is Mr. Frowny, I'm gonna be so pissed. And then it ended up being the case.
I mean, that's really smart. Like I don't know. I just saw that coming out of nowhere because I'm not the best at guessing like what's gonna happen later in the episode.
Which is ironic.
But I'm glad you picked that up, and it came true. So, yeah, he's pretty much the opposite of Mr. Smiley, and I guess that's good for their comedy routine. Go off each other. So also one other thing I noticed, Garnet makes an appearance in this episode, and she gives her future vision powers to Steven. This is like we've seen her do this before, like in Winter Forecast. And it seems a little bit different this time around. It seems like Steven can almost use them on command, because before he was, it just all came to him at once. But now it's like he can like, oh, I want to know about this, and he can see a couple of versions.
Yeah.
And also, I thought Garnet's looked different. Like maybe this is just how they're visualizing it for us, for the viewer. I thought it would have looked different, like compared to Garnet's, because I thought she sees like a whole bunch of paths, branches, or like streams.
Yeah.
But maybe this is how Steven sees it, or they're just making it simple for us.
I think they're visualizing, and also there are a different number of options for every scenario. So like, I can't remember the example, but I think Garnet said, I see this going one of three ways or something like that, whatever. There's like only three options. I can't remember the specifics. Maybe someone will know in the comments, but I think every scenario has a certain amount of possibilities.
Probability, yeah.
A, and B, I don't know if Steven, because there's only three, and obviously none of the three happened, so I'm guessing either they were just cutting down on time and didn't show us the rest, or Steven didn't see them because he's weaker, or maybe Steven stopped using the vision, like he could control it and he just gave up or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, it's like a very nuanced power. Like there's so much that like you can go into detail about like future vision, because like it's future vision. Like there's so much that could be, so many variations of it. So yeah. Another thing I want to talk about, this episode actually could have ended up pretty dark compared to other episodes, because Mr. Frowny, he was just not having it. Like Steven tried a lot of like, or at least in his mind, he saw like so many scenarios, and he saw that nothing he could do pretty much would make this guy happy, which is, I mean, it shows that you can't really please everyone unless you really try hard. I guess that kind of is something that could be taken from this episode, but then we did get a happy ending, so
yeah. So I'm not sure what the point was exactly as far as the lesson.
There was actually a little bit of a parallel to Steven and Connie in Mindful Education, where they had to talk things out instead of just like hiding everything, and so they had to confront their problem. And so that's probably why we got the ending that we did, instead of Mr. Frowny just leaving on the bus and both of them never talking to each other.
Yeah, that would have been a lame ending. I
know. And I mean, in the end he did leave, but we might never see him again, or we might. I mean, unless we get another Mr. Smiley episode, I don't know why he'd come back, because who knows where he went,
I have no idea, unless like, I don't know where we're at in the timeline right now, but unless there's like another Beach-a-Palooza or something, like if another year passes or something like that, next season or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's probably the only scenario I could really see happening.
Like an act, like they had, like maybe Mr. Smiley called him up and said, like, oh, we should do something together. Yeah. Okay, so that was pretty much like the gist of the episode. There wasn't, like I said, there wasn't too much to talk about. So any final thoughts or anything else you noticed?
Yeah, well, you said that Rebecca Sugar or somebody on the team or something said that apparently you won't ever see a character just once.
That is true. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then we probably will see Mr. Frowny at some point. Just not sure how.
Yeah, like, but like I was saying, like, I mean, we, like at this point, we don't have a reason to want to see him again. I mean, not want to, but like, I mean, for him to turn up unless of a background character.
Yeah, yeah, that might happen.
Yeah.
We don't know where he lives, but
yeah,
it's whatever. But yeah, it was a good episode. It was
he wants to use the F word a lot. I call it the F word in seniors because I know a lot of you guys don't like hearing it, but I mean, like you were saying to me, Michael, that like it doesn't really advance the plot or any of the major characters, so that technically is right. Like you were saying, kind of like the definition of filler.
Right, exactly. And like when I say filler, I'm not automatically writing it off as a bad episode or irrelevant episode. Like it was still an entertaining episode.
Yes.
It just didn't really move anything forward, and really we didn't learn that much about Mr. Smiley because we were already aware that he was in show business back in the day. So we just kind of met someone from his past, which was still kind of interesting. And like I'm not knocking it, but at the end of the day, it wasn't super important.
Yeah, just don't get mad at Michael again.
Please don't get mad.
Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up this time. We'll probably be back next week with more secrets and analysis. I think it's last one out of each city. Do you know?
Yeah, so they changed the schedule. So I guess last one out of each city's next. And then, is it Gem Harvest?
It might be. I'm not 100% sure after that.
This is the second time this has happened, so we apologize.
Yeah, we'll see about that one. Maybe there'll be stuff because I think a description did come out for it. Oh, cool. And it has something to do with they go to a Steven, Amethyst, and Pearl, and they go to a concert or something. So it might not be as, who knows? It could totally surprise us. I need to recheck the description for that, but I think it has those three characters, and so who knows what we'll see there. Might be interesting. Yeah, exactly. So I think that pretty much wraps this episode up, right?
Yep, think so.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys next week about next week's episode. See ya.
Later.